It's child-proof.
Good.
Yeah, thanks. This is our 17th year here, largely through funding by Michigan DNR and other regional, national funding agencies. We've been able to keep the project funded for 17 straight field seasons. You need to have that continuity for a species that doesn't even reach sexual maturity until at or after that time. So we have fish that we've seen, that we released in 2001 that are still swimming in the lake that have never come up here to spawn. They're not reproductively mature yet. So the problem wasn't entirely poaching or overharvest. A problem is that the population is not naturally recovering. Even with that many fish, and we have about 200 to 250 adults that come up and spawn every year, and these animals are wildly fecund, right? A female has, you can imagine this, 11,000 eggs per kilogram. Some of the females are 70 kilograms, and you wonder how can a fish with that many eggs not sustain natural recruitment? Why is the population not recovering? And that's one of the research components that we've been focusing on. We focus on early life histories. We focus on aspects of egg and larval mortality to try to answer that question. We are working in the river, the crew that you saw today. We do an adult assessment every year. We've developed statistical models where we can take our catch any given year. We've captured, including this year's fish, over 3,400 captures of over 1,100 individuals. And with that capture-recapture data, every year we update the population estimate, very, very precise estimates, because of this tremendous database that we collect every year, and that is used by the DNR to allocate harvest, to allocate stocking efforts, not only in this system, but throughout the Sheboygan River drainage. We also do quite a bit of research focusing on streamside rearing conditions. People around the basin who are very interested in recovering populations are recovering sturgeon populations in specific drainages. They're putting resources into specific drainages. And one of the things that sturgeon do, just like salmon, is they home. They home to their natal stream. They home to the stream that they were reproduced in, or they were produced in. And the question is well, at what time does that occur? And we really don't know that question because, again, it takes 20 or 25 years for them to reach sexual maturity to be able to find out. And so we're doing a lot of work with best hatchery practices for how many, 10, 8 streamside facilities in the Great Lakes now?
It's been growing, but it's
8.
Is it that many?
Well, there's one in the Maumee River going in next year in Ohio, so there's 8 right now, and so that's been a component of our research as well. One of the things that is really important is how reproductively successful, and which guys and gals that are spawning, at what times of the year are reproductively successful. So we also catch larvae later in the year in the river, and we use parentage analysis similar to what human parentage analysis is, and we can tell any fertilized egg and any larvae who mom and who dad was, when they spawned, where they spawned, what are the stream conditions that were associated with a larvae. And by counting the number of larvae which are attributed to males and females, we know, for instance, that the late run females on an average female basis are per capita more successful than early spawning females. We know that sturgeon that spawn in certain areas under certain stream conditions, flow, temperature, are more successful than other females. And this really helps because if you're trying to establish natural reproduction, you want to know under what conditions here, or what conditions that managers are expending resources in other rivers are most conducive to have natural recruitment. And so the other thing that we do, and for those of you who are going to the hatchery, we do not only the fish production work, where we take gametes from males and females here, and larvae that we capture in the river up to the hatchery for the production program. So Michigan State University manages the streamside research and hatchery facility. We work very closely with hatchery division to do that. We work very closely with Dave's group in the management in terms of stocking and restoration. We work with Sturgeon for Tomorrow in their outreach and extension and education programs. But you'll see at the hatchery, we have some signage and posters and some stuff set out that you could actually see some of the research and some of the assessment and some of the fish production work we do. And yeah.
And one of the bottom lines is, is this, how's it going here? Well, our last survey out in Black Lake was 2013. We saw a lot of the fish that we're stocking are surviving. So there's a lot of young fish in the system right now. Now we just need them to come back. And I think we saw the other day one of those fish came back into the spawning run that we've tagged. So.
Yeah, one of the fish had a coated wire tag, which we tag every fish with a coated wire tag, and they're also tagged with small little tags. They're called pit tags, and we have some stuff laid out. So every fish that's in here is tagged. It's tagged with a pit tag. It's the same tags that you put in your dogs and cats, right? You want something that you can identify, this is my pet. Well, your veterinarian injects under the skin a small little tag that will emit either a 10 or 15 digit code if you want it, right? It's not an emitting a signal, but when induced, it'll give you the number. So every single fish that we have in this system, except for the fish we've never, a few fish that we've never caught before, have this tag. We have 17 pit tag arrays throughout the river, including 2 here at the spawning area and at the river mouth. We know when the fish enter the river, we know when they enter the spawning area, we know when they leave, we know how many times they come and go during a given year. And every time when we catch a fish out here, we just wand the fish and we know exactly who it is. We have growth information, we have a complete history of spawning about when it spawned and where it spawned and who it spawns. We also tag the fish with small little tags. I don't know if you saw that female, but the female had a white tag on the left side. The fish was tagged on the left side because we remember ladies left. It's easy for us to do that in the river.
Are you saying men are right?
That's what he's saying.
He's an old country dancer.
Ladies are never right.
He's a square dancer.
Male-dominated crew today, so I can.
Oh, are you a square dancer, Kim?
No.
Okay.
I don't do-si-do very effectively. And so it's a little like a little piece of spaghetti, but it's different colored, and we tag females on the right, males on the left. We use different colors for different years. We use different colors for different spawning runs. We're at the start of the second spawning run. The fish that were tagged up until a week or so ago were part of the early spawning run. There were about 150 fish that we tagged in the river. And they were tagged with a different color, males and females. And so we know, for instance, if males come back, which a lot of them do, boys being boys and target-rich environment. So this is information. So it also, so the divers don't have to handle the fish again. We know that the fish has been handled this year, and we can leave it alone.
Yep.
And that's really important too. So we don't want to overstress the fish. And